Hi everybody, how we doing? I finished editing Kelsey's book yesterday and I really enjoyed it. It's a very complicated story. It's got lots of rich characters in it. And when I got to the end I was like, yay, it's such a good wee story. I did find it difficult to read for a couple of different reasons. The first reason being it's in a genre that I don't actually like, and Chaos and I had long talks regarding this because I didn't want it to come across that I didn't like it, because that wasn't the case. There's just aspects of fantasy writing that I don't like. So I made it clear right at the start that if she wanted me to edit it, she had to understand that I just don't like it, and I might come across as a jackass sometimes, but it's not intentional and it's not anything to do with her writing or her story. So I was really glad that we spoke about that, because there were times that I thought, oh, she's going to hate me because I was just, oh, that's, you need to do this, you need to do that. But she took it all very well, which is good, because I think you've got to learn, and you've got to understand that not everything you do is perfect. And I learned that not long ago, and it's mainly Sam that taught me that, which is why I'm quite, hard on myself with my writing, and I didn't want to be that hard on Chaos with her writing, because just because I write a certain way doesn't mean anybody else should write that way, and I didn't want her to feel bad or quash her hopes or anything like that. So we had these long talks prior to the edit, during the edit, and again last night after I finished the edit. It's actually quite difficult to edit a book that's been written in English by a non-native speaker, because there's parts that you come across and you think, is that their intention, or is it the fact that they maybe have not got full grip of like English grammar type thing. There's a lot of times that I contacted Chaos and says, is this what you meant at this part, is that what you meant at this part? And sometimes there's a couple of words that weren't quite the right context for the sentence or the paragraph, and we worked through that and we sorted it all. Like I say, the genre itself is not something that I enjoy, and that was the biggest difficulty for me, was reconciling the fact that I did have to read this book and I might not enjoy it, but I had to finish it. What I was really glad to find was the fact that I did enjoy it. That's not to say that I'm now a lover of fantasy by any means, because I'm just not. But it's a very good book. Like I say, it's very complicated, very rich storylines. I think even if she went into it even further, it would be absolutely amazing. But the thing, when you're editing, you don't actually get to enjoy something the way that you might if you were just reading it, because you've got to concentrate word for word, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph. So you don't have the time to actually sit there and think, oh, this is fantastic, or anything like that, because you're concentrating so much. But we did get it finished, and I love it. I fell in love with a couple of the characters in it, one in particular, and we were discussing, what parts of it really worked and what parts didn't really work, and the parts that that she would maybe have to work on to make it flow easy and things like that. So last night we said goodnight, and I got us up this morning, and my phone's pinging away telling me I've got messages. So when I came on, I'm like, well, what is it? why is it pinging? And what it was Chaos had actually went back and edited the entire first chapter. Now the difficulties that I ran into with the first chapter was it was very choppy, back and forth, too many characters, and it was exceedingly long. It was very long chapter. And we discussed this last night as an example for things that I meant throughout the rest of the book. So the messages that were actually coming through was she'd actually edited the first chapter again, and she'd linked me a version to it, and I was absolutely blown away. The girl actually sat last night, edited that first chapter, and turned it into a completely different story. I thought I was reading something completely different. I'm like, have you changed this? What have you done here? It was just so different, and it worked so well. And I think it's things like that. It's like you might think everything's fantastic, and then somebody else will read it and go, you don't really need that, or you could put that there and blah blah blah, which is what I had done, and it seems to have worked, because that chapter now looks amazing. And if it's a preview of what the rest of the book's going to be like once she finishes it, that is going to be an epic little tale, I can tell you that now. it was just, she actually changed the point of view of one of the characters, and the difference that made is astounding. Just one tweak and that was it. So yeah, it's very, very good. And like I say, it was a difficult thing for me to do. I've never edited before, and I've certainly never edited you know, an English book that was written by somebody who didn't actually speak English. So there was a couple of things that held me back, as well as it being fantasy. But I'm really, really glad that I didn't in any way hurt Chaos or crush her feelings or anything like that, because that is not what I intended at all. And I know sometimes I can come across as quite abrasive when I'm, you know, trying to teach somebody something, because I'm not the most patient of people. And I didn't want it to come across as, you know, it's all crap, it's all rubbish, because it certainly is not crap or rubbish, it's very, very good. But I always, you know, I find myself thinking, oh my God, maybe you shouldn't say something. But then what kind of friend would I be if I didn't say something and she published it and then everybody could see mistakes? That just wouldn't be fair on her. And it really wouldn't be nice of me to allow that to happen. So I'm really, really glad that we got through it. And I'm so proud of her for writing that chapter, because that chapter is, it really is, I had to read it twice. I actually says to her, give me a couple of minutes, I need to read it again. And as I was going through it, I was highlighting parts and telling her why it was so different and why it was so good. And I think the two of us are sitting going, oh my God, this is great. It was, yeah, it was a good experience. It was the entire thing was not easy, but it was a very good experience. And like I say, if she carries on the rest of the book with the same gusto that she's done with this one chapter, then it's going to be a very, very good book. I'm hoping maybe one day we'll get Chaos on here to give us a little rundown of, you know, her writing, because it's not just this one book. Chaos has written quite a lot of different things, and very interesting things. So I'm going to ask her if she'll maybe come on. She might not, but you know, I'll ask her anyway. The other thing was I had a meltdown on Friday night. Blurb had a sale on their books. If you bought your own book, you got so many % off for summer solstice, and I was like, oh great. What I'll do is I'll quickly edit the PDF, I'll pop it up onto Blurb and I'll put it out for sale. And that's definitely not what happened. The difficulties I ran into just with that file was incredible. Like I told you before, when I was fixing my laptop, I did a lot of movement about in my documents, and the chapters that were linked to the Scrivener file, when I moved them, they were no longer linked to the Scrivener files. So I found it really difficult to locate the chapters, you know, in their final form, and the very last take on them. So I thought, what am I going to do? Because I even did a search by date, but there were so many versions of them with the same date that I didn't know which ones were which. And the sale finished at 12 midnight, so I was constantly aware that time was ticking down. So I started trying to edit this PDF, because I thought that was the easiest way to go, was to download the PDF and edit that. So I think it was about 10 o'clock in the morning I started trying to edit the PDF. And it wasn't until about 10 to 12 that night that I finally managed to edit the PDF. The thing is, editing a PDF is extremely hard, and I didn't know that it was, and I could not understand why, because what I was looking at was the words. Now, how hard is it to edit them? And I couldn't get it into my head why I couldn't edit the bloody PDF. It's there, fucking edit it. It wasn't happening. So I had looked it up on the internet, found a couple of different places to get, you know, recommending certain programs that could edit PDF. So I had downloaded, I think I must have downloaded about 5 or 6 different programs, maybe more, all saying that they could edit PDF, and every single one of them failing to do so. So I started to get really, really frustrated, because like I say, the mistakes that I had made was just that find and mistake replace, and all I needed to do was change maybe 8 or 9 of these find and replace mistakes that I made, and I just couldn't bloody do it. And I got angrier and angrier and angrier the longer it went on. But I did have a program on my laptop which you could edit, but in order to use the editing module I had to pay for it, and I was adamant I wasn't paying for it, because everything else was, you know, I've paid for everything else. Why the hell should I need to pay a wee bit extra for this module? And it started to grate on me. But the problem was, if I didn't pay for that module, I was going to be unable to edit the PDF, and that was it. And my health, because I was so close to bursting something in my head. I thought I'm going to have a stroke or a heart attack or something. My blood pressure was up through the roof. I could actually see it was throbbing in the temples. I was getting so angry and I just wanted to throw the laptop away, so frustrated that I couldn't change this one bloody word because nothing would do it. So I ended up buying the module. I was so angry with myself having to do that. I mean, I have learned many hard lessons just in the last couple of days through this, that you can't easily edit a PDF, that you should have all your files backed up in one directory and all still linked once you've done that. But then I always learn things the hard way, and that's just me. But at the end of the day, I did manage to get the PDF edited. The program that I paid for did it perfectly, and I can't understand why nobody else has a program like that for free or a wee bit cheaper. You know, I'm not the only person who wants to edit a PDF. I mean, this isn't just happened to me. There's bound to be countless others that are in the same boat as me. I mean, obviously I'm going to watch what I'm doing in the future, and I'll have everything where it should be, and I'll not lose track of chapters and things like that. That was a complete fuck up. It's never going to happen again. Well, touch wood and I hope. But I did eventually get it, you know, edited. The thing was though, it was only 10 minutes before the end of the sale, and I thought, nah, I can't do it, because I have OCD and it drives everything that I do in my life. And I just need to read that file one more time before I fire it up for sale. Now that I've made the edits, I can't be 100% sure that during that editing I didn't make a mistake elsewhere, so I'm going to have to read it again. That's me, and I know the file is fine, but my OCD is telling me that maybe it's not fine, therefore I'm going to read it again and then put it up for sale. But it is fixed, so anything that I do find has been something that I've mucked up when I was editing on Friday. So yeah, big tip, make sure everything's backed up correctly before you move, delete or anything. But yeah, the only other thing is, you know, Chaos and Sam are now online instead of Skype, which helps me a great deal for the simple fact that Skype was killing the laptop. So I'm only grateful for them coming on, because it means I can still keep in touch with them. Because if I have Skype on, I can't do anything else. I can't edit, I can't read, I can't draw, I can't do anything. I just have Skype on. And it's just useless time to me, because I've always been used to being able to talk to them while I do something else. So having them online now is great, and I hope the others follow as well, so that I get to talk to them. So that's great. Line doesn't slow my computer down at all. Two different completely programs, work completely differently, but do the exact same thing. I don't know. Maybe they could make it a bit easier on Skype. It's something to do with the way they code it, the way they write it. It just eats so much memory, whereas Line doesn't eat any memory, or virtually no memory anyway. So, but that's good. We've got another 500 Yu-Gi-Oh cards came this morning, and I am just about to go and go through them with my son. Yes, we're collecting them. Yes, we now have a massive collection between the two of us. So I'm going to go and go through the Yu-Gi cards with him and enjoy the rest of the day. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Leave us a comment, give us some feedback. It'd be nice to hear from you, and I will see you soon. Bye!